Okay. I started touching on this here about let me see if we're on here. We are. I started touching on this subject a second ago, and I think it's something we need to take another look at. What do you think? I know that the COVID thing's going on 19. COVID-19 is getting, and I get that fighters can't fight, but that's not the reason why fighters weren't fighting. Why Ferguson and Khabib weren't fighting before this. And I know that once this is over, everybody deserves to see the fight of Ferguson Khabib. I think Ferguson is gonna take him. I think Ferguson can take Khabib, and I think Khabib thinks Ferguson can take Khabib. I think Ferguson thinks he can take Khabib. But I know that what I heard when I've been watching all these interviews that Khabib is giving is, yeah, well, I got, the COVID-19 thing coming, and then I know Ramadan's coming up, and I don't know about, I can't fight during Ramadan either. Okay, I'm a faith-filled man. I'm a faith-filled person myself. I go to church I go to church on Saturdays, actually. And a lot of people go on Sundays, but I know a lot of people don't go to church on Saturdays or Sundays because they got to feed their family too. And there are times when, hey, I can't go to church this week because I gotta go to work. It's a very important work day. So I pray about it, and I still pray and honor the Lord in those days. But I work. And I think that this should be a consideration to Khabib. He should think about this, because there's no reason why Ferguson should have to wait to fight anybody else. There's no reason why Khabib shouldn't fight Ferguson when the time comes, no matter what time it is. When the time comes, if you can't fill the position, somebody else needs to fill it for you, but you'll lose your belt. That's the way it works in boxing. That's the way it works in everything. We don't reschedule the Super Bowl for people for these reasons. We don't reschedule events like this because of that. But Dana seems to do it for Khabib. Well, sure, whatever you want, Khabib. What? No, not this time. Not this time. This time it's different. This time it's a lot different. Because now, if we've had to wait this long to watch Ferguson fight Khabib, to watch Ferguson take the belt that is rightfully his, and I think most people who know about UFC fighting and aren't just about the hype, know that Tony Ferguson is the best fighter of 155. So I think that Khabib, if he doesn't want to fight during Ramadan, that's fine, but you're going to have to mail the belt down here. You're going to have to mail the belt down here. Somebody else will fight Tony Ferguson during the next time it is to fight, and then you can come back in June or May and try to win your belt back. But that's the way it's going to have to roll this time. We can't just keep waiting for Khabib. It seems like we're waiting for Khabib to do whatever Khabib wants to do. The last few fights Khabib has fought hasn't been that good. So you beat Conor McGregor, Khabib, before a couple people beat Conor McGregor. The last, 2 out of 5 fights or something like that? Conor's gotten beat. Not the Cowboy thing, I'm not talking about that. 3 out of 5 maybe, but I'm just saying Conor wasn't that good. He's not at his peak anymore. So I don't understand why Ferguson is not given the chance he's getting. So I think Tony Ferguson is the best right now at his weight, and I'm sick and tired of Dana taking that away from him. Every chance he gets, he throws somebody else in the ring with Tony. He was just getting ready to throw Gaethje in there. That wouldn't have even been fair. Ferguson was going to take it, sure. Ferguson will fight anybody, but he shouldn't have to. That's like the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, and it's supposed to be against San Francisco 49ers, and they said, San Francisco's not going to. No, the Patriots aren't going to do it. They're not the high ticket. Why don't we put Buffalo, the Bills, in the Super Bowl, even though they didn't deserve it? That's what you're doing to Tony Ferguson. Ferguson deserves this shot. And you got all these other people that are running away from him. I would run away too. I'm pretty scared of the guy. He's a beast. He's a man. He's brutal. But how much are we gonna put up with? How much of it are we gonna put up with? Here's the deal. I love UFC. I always have. But if Khabib fights anybody other than Tony Ferguson next, I'm not watching it. I'm not. I'm not going to buy that ticket. I'm sick of it. Because you're not giving us the truth. You're not giving us the way it should be. Who should be number one? You're giving us the hype and who can sell the most tickets. I don't care who can sell the most tickets. I know you do, Dana, but you know what? Stay true to the sport, and the sport will stay true to you. I think everybody out there, who knows a little bit about UFC fighting and knows that Ferguson has been being ducked and being ducked and being ducked. It reminds me of Holyfield and Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. Holyfield was #1 contender for years. Why wouldn't Tyson fight him? He knows why. Because as soon as he lost the belt to Holyfield, he would never get it back. So he kept fighting losers and bums, and finally a bum named Buster Douglas beats Mike Tyson, gets the belt, and fights Holyfield. Holyfield takes the belt. Mike Tyson never saw the belt again. Because the true champion got it. And Tyson wasn't allowed to fight bums for the belt anymore. And what about Khabib? You're going to let him fight ranked 5s and 6s for the rest of his career? Whoever's on their way out? Ferguson's, he's prime. Anyway, I think Ferguson deserves a shot. And unless it's Ferguson Khabib, I won't watch Conor McGregor Khabib. I won't. It's ridiculous. Dana, your ethics on it a lot of times are screwed up. This is one of them. This is where people start pointing the finger. I like Dana. Don't get me wrong. I like Dana White. But there are times when people start pointing the finger like he's wrong here. He does this. He does that. And I'm like, no, leave Dana alone. He's a good guy. And I've always backed him up. But this is the time I'm not backing you. This is the time where I'm not going to back you on this. No. I'm done backing you. If you do the right thing with this, I still got your back. But until you treat Ferguson the way he needs to be treated, should be, as the champion that he is, I'm not going to back him unless he does the right thing here. Then I'll be on your side. I mean, I always have been. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I think Khabib should have to fight, even if it's Ramadan. No more excuses, Khabib. No more. You can't run from Tony anymore. It's over. Next time you run, you lose your belt. That's it. End of story.